Here we go, guys. First big project on Rustbox Garage, Phase 1 Vanguard. Needs a bit of a refresh, new paint, rust repair, mechanics. Over the next few videos we'll get this all looking spick and span. Stay tuned. Well, there it is. I had it for about 22 years. I got this car when I was quite a lot younger, and I wanted it for ages and ages. It was in a friend's backyard, sitting under a tree, going rusty, and it was sitting in REDeX livery, REDeX decals. And for those that don't know what REDeX was, it was a car race in Australia that went around the whole country for many thousands of kilometers, and it was done in the 50s. So I saw this car and I really wanted it, and I kept on pestering the guy, and eventually I got it. And I had a go at restoring it when I was a lot younger and a lot more inexperienced, and basically stuffed it up, and it's sat ever since. So there's a few things that have been done to it, but we're going to redo it, and we're going to do it properly this time and have it looking beautiful. So just looking around, as you can see, there's a lot of surface rust. So the metal wasn't prepared properly prior to the last paint, and all the rust has come back through. It was very rusty when I got it. This is a lot less than it had, but it's still a lot, and it needs to be attended to. So the body itself is pretty good, except for the surface rust. There's no big holes, except for this beading here on the fenders, on the guards. You can see the beading is rusted off, and that's probably going to be my biggest issue to deal with, is playing around with the beading. There's a little bit of rust on the bonnet as well, not too bad, and this side the beading has completely rusted off. So I need to be replacing that somehow. As you can see, driver's side pretty much the same as the passenger side. A lot of surface rust on the side of the car, on the roof, and up here in the gutter. There's a lot of nasty cancer, which we'll be attending to, and that's really unfortunate, but that's where the water sits. Going to the back, same story, boot lid, surface rust, no big holes. The chrome's all pretty plain, so we will be restoring a lot of the chrome, or at least trying to fix it up. In the boot, we're pretty good. We don't have any surface rust, any cancerous rust down here. In the wheel well, it's pretty good, just a bit of surface rust. And there's a little bit of surface rust on the parcel tray, but nothing really terrible that we need to stress about too much, but it's all going to be fixed up. Just checking some tax invoices and paperwork that I found in the car, and the last time it was fixed up was in 2000, so 21 years ago. So what you currently see here, this restoration is 20 years old, didn't fare very well. As I said, Definitely needs redoing. But let's have a look under the bonnet and see what we have. We've got standard 4-cylinder phase 1 engine, phase 2 engine. It is running, and I will show you that later. Mechanically, the car's really good. It did have a few issues, like it needed a new fuel pump, and it needed a new oil line that goes up to the gauge that was leaking. But other than that, we're still running on the original distributor and coil. Carby needed a bit of a clean, but it is in a running order, and really happy. Changed the thermostat recently, but other than that, good running car. The only thing it doesn't have is brakes at the moment. I've got an airbox for fresh air off another car that needs to be fixed up. It's just sitting in there at the moment, and that's going to be fixed up along with the rest of the car. We'll move to the inside of the car and have a look and see what it's like. Now, fortunately, I was lucky enough to find the car with the interior already nicely done in vinyl. Now, it would have been originally leather seats, but someone's gone ahead prior to me and done it all up in vinyl. So all of the door trim is all cushy, nice vinyl. There is a carpet set in there, nice brown, and a headlining set which is coming down in places, so it does need to be repaired a little bit. But other than that, the interior is pretty good. So interior wise, I won't be doing anything much other than just a bit of a cleanup. Stock blanking plate for the radio, so radio delete. We've got trafficators which come out of the side pillar, the B pillar, just here, and we'll show you those a little bit later. But other than that, the interior is good. Scuff plates are a little bit rusty, and there's a little bit of rust just here, bit of cancer, and here on the bottom side of the gutter, so we're going to be fixing all that up. But other than that, pretty good car. It just needs a little bit of love on the outside. Oh, and the center strip between the windscreen needs to be replaced, and I have that. This is a new rubber, well, new 20 years ago rubber, so it's not going to be replaced, but the back one will be, and we'll just have a quick look at that now. The back one is a bit chunky, needless to say. It's had it. It's probably the original rubber, and it doesn't leak, but it definitely needs replacing. And I do have a new one of them, new rubber seal, so that'll be when we're painting it up. Alright, let's give it a little bit of a start and see how we go. Firstly, we've got to turn the key on. Lights on. You've got our battery terminals in. We've got our obligatory screw holding in the negative terminal, and we'll give it a little bit of a kick. I might put the choke on. Alright, here we go. Bit of a squirt. Alright, there we go. Wobbling away. Oops, turn the choke off a little bit early. We'll give it another go. It does run nice and smooth once it's warmed up, so we will be looking at the engine mounts and fixing those up too. There we go. And it looks like our generator's probably not working, but we'll sort that out at some stage as well. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Just introducing our phase 1, and I call it Vanessa the Vanguard. I've got a question for you guys, and we did talk about this having REDeX decals. There is talk that there was a documentary done in the 80s, and this car was in that documentary and painted up for that documentary. So I don't know if they're real legitimate REDeX decals or if it was painted up for a documentary, but if anybody knows, please comment down below. It's been bothering me for almost 30 years. So if you know any history about this car, please contact me or comment in the video below. Anyway guys, next week we're moving into our next video, and it's going to be paint prep and body work and getting ready for paint. And I've got a really nice paint job planned for this car, a little bit different, not just straight black. So if you're interested, please like and subscribe for the next video. See you next week.